The Medal of Honor epitomizes the very best of what America stands for, honoring those valiant individuals who displayed such acts of heroism. Those honored represent the heart and soul of America. The medal represents more than just the actions of a particular recipient, but rather the sacrifices he or she has made on the battlefield to protect the rights and freedoms which Americans cherish. The Medal of Honor is given sparingly and bestowed only to the most courageous. These recipients have engaged in a conflict with a belligerent nation or foreign force and have risked their lives in the line of duty. Indisputable evidence must be provided by one or more eyewitness accounts proving the legitimacy of the nominee's deeds. Recipients of this decoration display actions and demonstrate bravery and selflessness that stand out above all the members involved in the conflict. This makes the Medal of Honor a decoration of immeasurable integrity. The Medal of Honor was issued into law in 1862 and commissioned as a permanent decoration to be presented by Congress in 1863. 3,401 recipients have been presented and 100 remain today, each going above the call of duty. This medal is the nation's highest honor for valor in combat. As time progresses, the Medal of Honor status has become more difficult to achieve. This prestigious medal has never been sought after as an award for superior actions on the battlefield, but is merely a reflection of the dedication to his or her fellow comrades. In many cases, recipients have perished during their heroic acts. Bravery in the face of fire, justice in the face of oppression, and the willingness to sacrifice life for his or her fellow countrymen are all qualities that cannot be found anywhere else but in Medal of Honor winners.
Oh God, what a wonderful country we have that you have given to us. For these 235 years, you have been our leader, our counselor. You have guided us, and in many times of peril, you have saved us. We thank you for those who are willing to give their time and effort and their money to make things like this happen, where we can not only ask you to bless us, but have appreciation for the country in which we live and the freedom that you have given to us. We would ask that you would bless the families of all here. Those in special need, we would ask that you would bless them with your care. Bless the food that we are about to eat. Help us to be appreciative of its abundance for those who have prepared. So guide us and lead us as we need you every day of our life. And to you we will give the praise and the glory. For it's in your holy name that we ask these favors. Amen.
Well, thank you. Well, good morning. You know, I like to say a special honor to our special guests, the 7 recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor. I know this, whereas Sammy, my good friend, I've known Sammy for a number of years. We're very proud of him to be the only living Hoosier Medal of Honor winner, but I met these other 6 today, and matter of fact, Mr. Rosser, I know where you're there, we got a chance to listen to your great presentation at the War Memorial, but we had a great morning today, and I will tell you, you're seeing the heroes of our nation standing here before you, and I also tell you, you're never going to meet a more humbling group of guys in your life. All they want to do is just tell you that, you know, I was just, as someone said it, I forget which one of our recipients said it to me, I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I survived. I'm just an ordinary guy that kind of did some extraordinary thing, and I don't know why. and somebody happened to see it. I don't know how many that my buddies to my left and right did the same thing that I did, but they didn't make it and nobody saw it. They are truly what makes us in America so very, very special. I also wanted to say, our best here to other distinguished guests, our Gold Star mothers, any Gold Star families in the audience, the Blue Star families, our state and elected officials. Mayor, it's good to see you. Ma'am, it's good to see you here with us. Veterans of all services, fellow soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, and all the citizens and friends that are here with us today. I can't tell you how much it is an honor and very humbling for me personally to be here amongst them and have the opportunity to say a few words. I hope I'm worthy. But this is very special that we're here dedicating this Hoosier Heartland Bridge. It's already been said, but the first bridge in the nation to be named in honor of the Medal of Honor recipients of our nation. But I got to go back about 12 years, almost to the day, or almost definitely to the month. And I bet these gentlemen will go back with me in time. It was 1999 in Indianapolis, when Indianapolis was the first city to name and dedicate a memorial to our honorees, to the Medal of Honor recipients. Downtown Indianapolis, the last Memorial Day of the 20th century. I happened to be there. There was thousands of them there. I think there was 96 in attendance. I'm talking about Paul Bucha, Captain Paul Bucha, who was your president then. He made some wonderful comments. Sammy, you did too. And I stood there and I just couldn't believe in all that 96 of the best of our nation in Indianapolis. So we were the first to do it. And I don't know whether any other state, as patriotic as we are, has done anything like it. But here we are in Lafayette and Tippecanoe County 12 years later. There's only 85 recipients still living. There's 7 here among us. There's 10%, almost 10% of the Medal of Honor winners standing here before us today. How special day it is for each and every one of us. As I was thinking about my comments, I thought there's basically 3 decades involved here as far as heroic acts. And the first one is Woody Williams here, World War II. My father served in World War II. I know you're a Marine. You went into Iwo Jima. My dad was on USS Lowndes that took the Marines into Iwo Jima on a troop transport ship. And the greatest generation. Tom Brokaw, we read the book. And they are the greatest generation. They're my generation's father. And they were born in the Depression. You didn't have much. The world needed you. You went off and you fought in foreign lands and you defeated tyranny. You came back home, and again, you didn't ask for much from our nation. All you did was you wanted more for your children than you ever had. And you wanted us to have the education. You wanted us to do better in life. That's what my mom and dad did, and I know you out there, you know what I'm talking about. Then they built the greatest economy the world had ever known. I hope our generation ain't screwing it up too bad. We ought to be more like them. We ought to be more like, what can we do for our country, not what the country going to do for me. Hey, what's in it for me? What a wonderful generation you are, sir. And I want to thank you, and God bless our World War II vets. 1945, we all rejoiced. I wasn't around yet, but I know they came home and there was yellow ribbon programs. We had won that terrible, terrible war, and think about it, 1945, but about 1950, 1951, there were still those that were wearing the uniform of our nation. And as our nation is, as America is, most to the victor of war goes the spoils of war. That's what we've always read about. But not in America. We fought back the Germans, we fought back the Japanese, and what did we do? What did America do? We created the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe, to help them back on their feet. Gave our own money back to those people so they could build it back, and we had the same thing called the MacArthur Plan in Japan. And there was a bunch of our soldiers there. They didn't have much going on. They weren't training much because we had just come out of the World War II. The little rumbling going on in a little peninsula called Korea. And they didn't think it was going to be much. And they sent some of our soldiers over there. The first one I remember studying was Task Force Smith out of the 24th ID. Went over, and they went over there. We didn't have the proper equipment. Their batteries were old. We were just in the results of a World War II victory, but this Korean War happened, and they called it at one time, I think, a conflict, the Forgotten War. I will tell you, if you read about it, it's some of the most savage fightings of all wars went on in the Korean War, hand-to-hand, absolute human assaults. But Corporal Rosser, thank you for your service. Thank you for your heroics, and God bless you and all our Korean War vets. And then we know we go out to the one that those of you that are my age, we talk about the Vietnam conflict, a time when I would say we would all agree it was kind of an unpopular war. Most of us that weren't a part of that were back here at home. We were just watching it. It got to be a body count war. A war where the politicians were running the fight, where the President of the United States was actually sitting in the Oval Office, determined where he's going to drop bombs. And I'll tell you, these guys that went over and fought over there, they did it because their dad did it, their uncles did it, their brother did it, their grandfather did it. They were just doing what their nation asked them to do, and our nation didn't do you right. And I want to apologize to our Vietnam vets from our country. Thank you so much for serving your country over there, each and every one of you. And let's give our Vietnam vets. But like everything like that, there's always goodness that there's goodness that comes out of something in our nation. We figured it out. And I tell you today, all these guys and gals sitting in front of them that's been deployed, and there's been 19,000 Indiana National Guardsmen deployed since 9/11, many 2 and 3 times. 18 have given their ultimate life and sacrifice. And we buried them in honor. One was a Silver Star winner. But I'll tell you, but we've got programs today, our Yellow Ribbon program, and we don't send a soldier, sailor, airman, marine off the war that isn't properly equipped, properly trained. We take them to mobilization stations. They don't go over with crews they haven't trained with. We learned from our nation learned from that, and our Army learned from that, and all our services learned from it. All those we've sent, I've never had one mother, father, or wife, or husband called me and said, "You did not properly train or equip my son. What were you doing? He's over there in harm's way. He got put on a piece of equipment he's never fired before." And that's not the way it was. So God, I'm so thankful that America learned from it and our Army learned from it, and goodness came from that. I just like to end to say that everybody remember the millennium, that 2000 when all the computers were going to stop. Everybody remembered the little magazine called Time Magazine. Time Magazine, at the end of every decade, every century, they always have the man of that year, the man of the century, whatever it is, the institution, whatever. And I remember they were building up to the millennium. They were trying to think, what was the single individual, the single event, the single organization that has influenced America, the world, the most in the millennium? And you know what it was? A picture of a soldier, an American soldier, just sitting there. And it doesn't mean it's a Marine, it's it makes no difference. A military soldier, a private standing there. It was the most influential. What a great thing that really, really is. And I'll just end to say that as a nation, we got our warts. We don't do everything right, but I'll tell you what, when the rest of the world gets in trouble and the rest of the world needs help, who do they call upon? They call upon the United States of America to be their ally. And when they call upon us and they need help, who do we send? We send the soldier. God bless you.
Thank you very much. No, please be seated. Please be seated. Thank you. Thank you. The real story on that is that the Navy was first. By the way, Abe Lincoln, just a little 30 seconds of history. Medal of Honor. Abe Lincoln signed the Medal of Honor legislation creating the Medal of Honor in 1861, 150 years ago now. And so the Navy was first. 6 months later, rolled into 1862. The Army he signed legislation creating the Army Medal, and there were no air machines. So it did take 100 years for the Air Force to become a service and to create our own Medal of Honor. It is larger. It does have a light in it. We can turn it on. They are jealous, but but the point is, it's the same Medal of Honor. It's the criteria is the same, but there's quite a bit of banter that goes back and forth, and it's not my fault. It is a little bit nicer. I didn't. Anyway, life takes very strange turns. I'm trying to put something together about a bridge. How do you dedicate a bridge? Bridge, I dedicate you. I don't know how to do that, but thinking about this, and about 45 years ago, man, that's a long time, I was involved in combat in Vietnam, like many of these men up here were, and before that in Korea. But anyway, about 45 years ago, there were two wars in Vietnam. The war down south, where these guys fought trying to win the war, and then the war in the North Vietnam, where we tried to stop supplies from coming south. So in the North, there was only an air war. But our air war in the North, one of the things we tried to do in North Vietnam was stop supplies. A big major bridge over the Red River in Hanoi. In those days, we had dumb bombs, right? Vietnam yet. It took a lot of airplanes. It took a lot of bombs to statistically prove you could hit something. And I was on several missions where we tried to drop that big major bridge, which is kind of part of the supply route. And we lost a lot of airplanes. I have friends that were buried there. Never came home. A lot of POWs I served with had happened. At any rate, the day we finally dropped the bridge, that night we celebrated, of course. And here we are, 45 years later. Instead of destroying a bridge, we're building a bridge, and now we're celebrating. I mean, what an ironic twist it is on, I got some bridge relationship, so. The Medal of Honor, one of our major goals of all Medal of Honor recipients, and it's in our charter and the bylaw, is to make our country, help make it more patriotic, do whatever we can. We do it with education programs for the kids. We speak out to different schools, and we speak to groups and so on. But all those are kind of now and then we do that. But this bridge is permanent. And thinking about that, the signs that are going to be unveiled, I've seen pictures of them now, are so unique. That's the only place in the world you're going to see that sign. As you drive up on County Road 500 to go over the main Hoosier Heartland corridor. When that's finished, you'll see it come. But anybody who makes that intersection or crosses that bridge is going to see that sign. And there's going to be, I know there's going to be kids in that car sometimes say, "What's that?" And this is your opportunity and yours to think about, what that sign stands for is people who have given their life, people who have fought for their country, and it's Medal of Honor, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. We wear this for all those in the military. We wear this for all who can't. We all know there are many in the military that served in the military that are as or more worthy than we. It takes 2 eyewitnesses and a bunch of requirements. A lot of them, there are no survivors. It fell through the crack. So we wear this for an awful lot of people. We wear it for everybody. So I'm hopeful when those kids say, "What's that, Mom or Dad?" they'll take a moment and give a little history lesson. It'll force the mom and dad to know maybe when the kids are asked. So I think this, I'm just sure this is going to make this community better because you're going to know more about what the Medal of Honor is, and that means in the military, and that means what the cost of freedom is. And I won't go through the triteness of freedom, but we all know that. So I just think this is really a phenomenal thing that you have done to create this bridge, first in the nation, and I hope it catches on. And other things here in the state and throughout the country, because all that helps. It makes us a better country because of it. I hope that's not a stretch. One other thing to compliment the person who did this is who began this project and pushed it all the way through. And I want to compliment the county commissioners over there and all the people who supported this to allow it to happen, to make it to happen. The idea generator was over here and then generated all this support. But it's been written frequently that the fate of a nation often depends upon one great battle. I believe that to be true. And also it follows on, it's true that the outcome of one battle often depends on one great leader. In our lifetime, everybody saying up here knew Jimmy Doolittle. In my view, Jimmy Doolittle is a person of that example. One great America was attacked, as you know, in December of 41 by Japan, Pearl Harbor, and for the first few months of that war, World War, the greatest generational, the first few, we were having our lunch handed to us. They were winning every battle. America truly was, we were depressed. We said, can we beat this imperial military that's attacked us? I mean, we were really depressed as a nation. Jimmy Doolittle is the man that led the B-25s, a land-based aircraft off a sea-based ship, aircraft carrier, flew low level for several hundred miles, popped up, bombed Tokyo, and then he recovered in China. Some of them survived, some were executed, but that one leader of that battle changed the attitude of our nation. All of a sudden we realized we can win. We can beat this monster that attacked us. So I'm not equating David Shively yet to Jimmy Doolittle, but the point is, one man can make a difference. He's made a difference in this community. When people drive over that bridge, and if this catches on, it could go on and on and on. So I hope this is catchy. I hope there's a virus that you created. But here's a man that did make a difference in this community. So again, thank you, and I hereby dedicate the bridge. But thank you for allowing me to say a few words. And we're just so honored to be here. We've been treated so well. When Gailey and I drove into town yesterday with the sheriff, my wife said, and she's from South Dakota, I'm from Minnesota. She said, this feels like the Midwest. Solid, good people. The houses, it's got a great feel here. You're good people. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you for those who are serving this day in harm's way to preserve the freedom that we enjoy and even to give it to others. We ask, Lord, that you especially bless the mothers who have given part of themselves, a son or a daughter, that we might continue to enjoy the freedom that they sacrificed for. We thank you for this gathering and for the love and the fellowship that we are sharing one with another. And we thank you for all the blessings that have come our way today and every day of our lives. Bless those who need you in some means that would make their life better. Continue to bless this occasion. Help us to be mindful that we are here because you are our God, and we are a nation of freedom-loving people. Bless us and guide us, keep us in your care, and bless all of our loved ones in Christ's name. Amen.